Get this.
All right, hello and welcome to the match review of Manchester United and West Brom at Old Trafford. Manchester United have just lost for a third consecutive match. Sati, I expect you're pretty disappointed with that performance. Again, not a decent performance. Similar to the other games, where we've had lots of possession, and West Brom have scored with um, their only real chance of the game. I mean, we've started with Robin van Persie today. He's come back from injury. I don't know how you saw us go. I mean, it's really disappointing. Again, we've not scored for a third consecutive game, isn't it?
Well, that game it was depressing in a way because to see West Brom win the game 20% possession when we have 80%, it just shows that stats don't matter in football. And at the end of the day, we weren't good enough. They knew what they did at Old Trafford. They came over with a game plan, and that game plan was to have their two banks full and have their two up front, or one in front and then one in front of the defence. And it just worked like a treat. They knew what to do. They set out as a they basically turned into Chelsea for a day. They had their bus parked and they counted us, and it worked, to their extreme strength. Because at the end of the day, I saw Berahino, and he didn't look like he wanted to run onto anything. He was like he was just there to just take up a bit of space, but then he was there for the counter-attacking. And our performance today was similar to Southampton at home. I think it was in December when we lost 1-0. It was similar to the performance where Southampton would just, but Southampton had a bit more tacky flair to them. They would come at us a bit more. And I just thought today we just weren't good enough. And for us to have the players on the pitch in attacking sense, Rooney, Van Persie, Falcao, Juan Mata, Di Maria, Fellaini in some sense, and Herrera, to have all them 7 players on the pitch and still not score a goal, it just shows how bad we're lacking in attacking sense. Everyone was raving about our good attacking strike force and how bad our defence was in the start of the season. Now look at it, it's like the opposite. Our defence is all right at the moment. We conceded goal, but we conceded 3 at Goodison, but today it looked like a solid bank 4. And then attacking the wise, we were just really slow. We started the game off slow. West Brom just knew what to do, and we just weren't good enough. And to see Darren Fletcher, I've got to say him, Darren Fletcher, what a player! He was. It was an emotional day for him because he came back, and I thought he played well. It's not good to see him play well against United, but he's a true legend, and I respect him. And also the fans, what they did at the 5th minute, I thought was a huge mark of respect for Rio Ferdinand's wife. Her passing away, and yeah, I think that's a huge mark of respect from both sets of fans.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's not obviously sad to hear about Rio Ferdinand's wife, but today, I don't know, Liam. Do you think that Manchester United are really now missing Michael Carrick? I mean, the last 3 games now, Michael Carrick has been out injured, and Manchester United have lost all 3. Do you think that is a real problem for Manchester United? I mean, they don't really seem to have that same. They just don't seem to be the same team without him in there. I mean, it's just really difficult to put a finger on it. I mean, obviously he's not the best. He's not going to score you bags and bags of goals, but he's that player in there that will do a really good job in there and be sort of the unsung hero.
Yeah, back Carrick, and he lets the other players kind of play and we're talking about the possibility of Gundogan coming into the squad. I definitely think he's a player that he needs to kind of replace. I wouldn't say replace Carrick, but like I said, next season Carrick obviously he's be 33, 34. He won't be able to play every single game. So yeah, I mean it goes to show when you lose 3 on the bounce, it goes to show when that player is really influential to the team. But yeah, it's one of those games where West Brom just get a lucky deflection of flipping Martin Olsen's right leg, and it goes in the back of the net. What's the alternative? But I mean, United, they had the chances to finish off, but I even said before the preview of this, I think it was just what team was really up for it. And to be fair, for the first 60, you could even say 70. I don't think it was either teams, but West Brom got the opening goal, then United really did start going for that equaliser. But yeah, it's just one of those games, and Carrick definitely is a massive miss for the team. But but goes to show still attacking wise. Van Persie, you know, in the Arsenal days, you would say, yeah, definitely to bury it in the back of the net, but wasn't meant to be. So maybe there is a lot of problems still in the United squad that have to be addressed in the summer transfer.
Yeah, a lot of Manchester United fans I see on Twitter are really having a go at Van Persie. They're blaming him for that penalty, but you know it's a miss, and we move on. I mean, some fans wanted Wayne Rooney to take the penalty, but obviously he's missed his fair share of penalties. He missed the last one away at Liverpool, so you know he could have missed it as well. So I mean, Sati, do you think the criticism on Van Persie is a bit harsh? I mean, he wasn't the only player not to fire a blank obviously today. I mean, Rooney's done very little again today. I know he's not playing in his natural position, but I think it's a bit harsh, the criticism on Van Persie. He would probably be our leading goal scorer, I think, if he hadn't got injured and missed a big chunk of the season.
Yeah, I think, you know, everyone's going on his back because he missed a penalty, but if he scored, no one would be saying anything because he's genuinely, you know, got back into the game. But the fact that it's hard to, you know, blame him on him because, you know, as you said, Rooney's penalty, you know, record isn't that great over the last couple of weeks or so when he has taken a penalty. I thought it was a bit unfair to criticise him because the guy has just come back from the injury. He played for the under-21s, and you would bank on him to score that. As Liam said, in his Arsenal days, that's a definite goal without a question of doubt. No one would be thinking that's a miss. Everyone would be saying that's a goal. You know, the Man United, Arsenal back in it in them senses. But it's just wound me up with the fact that everyone's going on his back and saying for Louis van Gaal out after one performance, and that's the fans that we have, the fan base, which is really, you know, getting on my nerves a bit because after one bad game, yes, you can criticise certain players that don't play well, but the manager, I think. You can't really criticise. You can criticise the manager's tactics and everything, but saying that you want him out after one game just shows the naivety in this fan base. Because after one game and you want Louis van Gaal out, you've got to look at yourself and think, is that a reasonable, you know, judgmental perspective on Louis van Gaal? Because for me, I just think that's unfair. And Louis van Gaal, you know, he put a fair team out today. I'm sure you guys agree with me. That team was fair enough to beat West Brom. It's just the players for me. And Liam said. Who's more up for it? The players should have gone up there and got 3 points, especially the defeat to Everton, probably the biggest defeat of the season. I think it is by 3 goals. So the players just weren't up for it. And if you're blaming Louis van Gaal, you've just got serious consideration about yourself.
Yeah, well, if we win the next game, then everyone's gonna be praising Louis van Gaal. So you can't really win either way. Liam, how do you see Manchester United going forward? I mean, they've obviously got some difficult games coming up. Do you think they're still going to be able to consolidate their place in the top 4? Because Liverpool are only a few points behind now. Obviously, they've got a difficult game coming up at Stamford Bridge, but Manchester United have got an away game at Crystal Palace and then a big, massive game at home to Arsenal. So it could all still be on for a battle for that top 4 now, couldn't it?
Yeah, definitely. You know, I mean, like I said, Liverpool on 61, United on 65. You know, and it is very, very much closer now than that's what I actually thought it was. You know, but no, I think United they just got to keep down to playing football. You know, it's what they're good at. But it's hard to say. You know, will Liverpool slip up again? You know, I mean, obviously Gerrard missed the penalty. But then he can still turn up and get back a goal, and we all know he can do for many years, and he's done it for Liverpool. So I think it's still very close, obviously, for the top 4 position. But I'm sure if United just needs to keep going. I mean, I know injuries is a massive problem. Obviously, Rooney back, but he's back in the guy because to be fair, he's the only actual decent striker that's done anything for United this season. So yeah, it's going to be very tense last few games for both teams, United and Liverpool. But yeah, I think once again, I'm going to say, I think whoever team's up for it the most. But United definitely need it probably more than Liverpool, personally. I know Liverpool obviously want it as well, but United without Champions League is just like, obviously I've never known it, after I've had Fergie all the years, and we always got the Champions League spot. So, no, it'd be obviously tight, but I'm sure United will do it in the end.
Yeah, I think that game at Stamford Bridge will probably just decide it, because if Liverpool don't win at Stamford Bridge and don't even get a point, then even if Manchester United lose the next game, it's still going to be a 4-point gap still. So then the games are obviously running out. There's only a couple of games then left for the end of the season. So Manchester United only need to win a couple of them games. And obviously, if Liverpool slip up in at least one, then it might be less. So, Sati, do you think this is going to be a good season now? If we just about scrape in the top four, because I mean we've spent so much money, shouldn't we be doing a bit better and at least wrapping this up a lot earlier?
The thing about the money thing, I agree with you. Yeah, we should be doing a lot better than top four, but it's a transitional period for Louis van Gaal because finishing seventh isn't easy, and to bounce a club back, as you see with German Klopp, look how far he went down the table in one season. So it's all a question about whether we will bounce back, and I believe we will next season. That's without a shadow of doubt, we'll be getting title challenge on easily. But the thing about the money thing, I think. Before Moyes signed and Fergie, I don't think we signed many big name players. We had a spree where I think the most we spent was 78 million, and that was on David De Gea, Ashley Young, and Antonio Valencia. I think it was, or someone else as well. I think that was a very productive year. I thought that was one of our best years in the last 5 years, and we were missing a centre defensive midfielder. And for Louis van Gaal to come into a squad where there hasn't been much money spent over the last couple of years, yes, Louis van Gaal, David Moyes spent £56 million on 2 players, but were they really the players that we needed in that time? I don't think we did, because we needed a holding midfielder, a Carrick-esque player. And I think he hit us hard on Scholes left, and we haven't been able to replace him. But Carrick will do the job, and it showed how big of a miss it is when he's out of the team, because against West Brom and Everton, you could say probably, if Carrick was in the team, you'd probably say you'd probably get a draw or maybe sneak a win at the last minute, because it was a very tough game. But for us to lose at home against West Brom and have the injuries that we do is a major disappointment, because I think the only major injury that we have there is Carrick, and also you could say Rojo and Shaw. And I thought Daley Blind got caught out a lot today, but top four for one season, for a first season for Louis van Gaal, I think an okay season. It's not the best, it's not the worst, it's an okay season. It's genuinely it's not any better than it's a lot better than David Moyes, but it's not any better than coming third, because you still have to go through the qualifying stage. And I think if we come third, it'll be very better. It's a better year completely, because we'd have to go through that qualifying stage. But if we get top four, we'll probably get through the qualifying stage. As long as we don't come up against West Brom or someone like that, then I think we'll get Champions League, and we'll you'll see the good times back to Old Trafford next season. But if you see Louis van Gaal come back to this negative sideways passing, then there's going to be big questions as to what Manchester United and whether he will still be in the job if he continues with the sideways passing. Because if he goes through next season with this tactics that he wants to do, then there's questions asked, and to be fair, it won't work.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if next season the performances and the results don't improve, then obviously questions are going to be asked, because I expect, well, as long as they do make the Champions League, there's going to be at least another 100 million to spend. I mean, Liam, do you think Manchester United, well, I mean, if they do finish in the top four now, do you think it's a successful season? I mean, I personally think it's just an average season, really. I mean, with the amount of money that Louis van Gaal spent, personally, I think that they should at least be hitting fourth spot with. I mean, there's some real quality players out there. I mean, today there was so many big star names that have graced world 11s, not just Premier League 11s. I mean, we've got some of the best players in the world out there, and it's just not happening for some of them. So do you think it is just an average season, really?
Yeah, I think you're right, Dan. I think you expect coming from the squad, is fourth good enough? But then again, I think fourth was just always the spot for United this season. I don't think, if a trophy came along with it, then of course it's a humongous bonus. But it's just always been top four, And still, I know there's a lot of criticism for Van Gaal at the moment, but he's coming to the Premier League, and he's still learning the league, He's still getting used to the culture. He's still getting used to the players, probably still, And he's trying to still probably find his best team, And he's going to still be doing that for next season, I think, when he's bringing in players like Gundogan, Hummels, Depay, so on and so on, and he's going to still try and find what team suits him. Of course, he's still got the thing about De Gea. Is he staying or is he going? Is Lloris coming in? There's a lot still going on behind the United behind the scenes, So yeah, I don't think you can be disappointed if you're United fan for top four. I think it was all third and second 1 minute, and now it's even United going to get top four. It is very close, and I still think the majority of teams have really underperformed this season in the Premier League. I think Chelsea have just they've had a lucky season. I'm not saying they've had a lucky season. Obviously, for me personally, killed off the first half of the season. I thought it was done and dusted in December, October. So I think United obviously just got to keep going. I mean, they haven't got particularly very hard games left. So it's just trying to stay consistent, I think, if anything, and they're still not that team, you'd expect 3-4-0 win against West Brom at home under Fergie, but it's still obviously got that little bit of a Moyes effect still. At Old Trafford, a bit of a disease is still there, but I think give Van Gaal time. I think he's a great manager, and I think he's definitely the right man to take United forward. It's just still him gelling with the team and taking it forward.
Yeah, I just, the way I see it is that Manchester United probably will finish in the top four now, but I think that it will probably be more because the others have been so bad. I mean, Liverpool have lately just completely almost collapsed themselves. Tottenham haven't really put up a massive fight, and Southampton, when I always thought were going to fade away. I don't know if you feel the same, Sati. I mean, Liverpool are absolutely awful for me. And they haven't even got anyone that can be striker up there. I mean, Balotelli's probably playing as bad as me at the moment. So, and they haven't got anyone else really up there. So I think that really, if we don't finish in the top four, personally, I think that questions really do have to be asked over Louis van Gaal. And I personally think that his job would probably be on the line. I don't know if you agree or not.
Yeah, I think Van Gaal, if he doesn't get top four, I still want him to be manager without a question of a doubt, because he's got that charisma, he's got that personality that he can bring in players no matter where he finishes, and that's what he's done at many clubs. He may not have won the league in one season, and then he still brings in quality players and brings the ranks of the team. So I think he's got that style about him. He knows what to do, and if he doesn't sign a centre defensive midfielder and a centre back or two maybe and a winger, then there are some concerns about his transfer policy. You probably compare it to like David Moyes, where he thought Fellaini would fit a CDM role, and he's worked with him for over 10 years and he doesn't know his best position. It's a concern, but like I said, Liverpool, Southampton, Spurs, I don't see them as major threats. I think Liverpool is probably the biggest threat out of all of them, but I don't think they'll get top four unless we slip up. I think it's all down to us. It genuinely is, because if we let us go, then there's obviously going to be questions about Louis van Gaal and all that, but if we let it go, then there are really, really big concerns about Manchester United. And there'll be that name about Manchester United saying, how Liverpool went down in a period and they're still down there, in Europa League, and people will probably bring Manchester United down into that category. Because if we don't get fourth, we'll probably get fifth. And Europa League isn't where I want to be. I don't want to be watching Manchester United on a Thursday and then playing on a Saturday, and watching them on Thursday playing against some Russian team away from home. I don't want to be watching that. I want to be watching us play against Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Barcelona, them kind of teams. That's what all fans from Manchester United perspective want to see. I'm sure you'd agree with me there, but if we don't get top four, I can't comment on what I'll say about Van Gaal, because only until that period. I don't want him out. That's without question of doubt. I'll never say that. But there's become criticism, a lot of criticism, if he doesn't get top four. But it's all in our hands. If we don't get it, it's purely down to us, no one else.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think if we could actually beat Crystal Palace next week, then I think it will almost as good as be sewn up, because I can't see us losing the two remaining games as well. I mean, we could lose possibly that Arsenal one, won't be easy, but if Arsenal are securing second spot, then I think that they'll probably have all their eyes on the FA Cup final, and it's not really a big, massive game for them, is it? I mean, Liam, have you got any other thoughts you want to add, or just tell everyone where to find you on Twitter?
No, yeah, I mean, it's just United have still outfitting those kind of results that just not showing that confident United side that we know. But like I just said, Van Gaal's still getting used to the whole team and stuff. So just give him another year, give him the time in the summer to build the squad, get in those kind of big name players that clearly United need. And yeah, it's still one of those just slip ups that United get now and then. Obviously not as bad as when Moyes was in charge, but it's football. And no, I mean, I'm very confident United will get the top four. I wasn't so in October or December. I was saying they weren't going to get it, but I think Liverpool just don't have that final touch that United have got. So I still, I'm going to go United get the top four position. And if you want to talk to me more about football and stuff in general, you can find me at Liam P. L. Edwards on Twitter. Thanks.
Thanks for coming back on. Sati, do you want to just remind everyone where to find you on Twitter?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter, the United Man _MU. I talk about Man United all the time. Any discussions that you want, any debates, tweet me and we'll have a debate. And pleasure being on.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. Anyway, everyone, let us know your thoughts on the game. Where you thought it went wrong. Is it to do with Michael Carrick's absence, or could Louis van Gaal have changed it with his tactics, or whatever other thoughts you've got on the game? And we'll be back again sometime for another preview of the next Manchester United match.